Hey, it's your old pal Lucid Stew again. In this video, we're back talking about Brightline West. I hear a lot of criticism about Brightline West's decision to stick to the interstate median and single track a significant portion of their 218-mile route from Rancho Cucamonga, California to Las Vegas, Nevada. So I thought it might be fun to imagine the project designed as a more typical high-speed rail project. Let's go over the parameters for this exercise. Number 1, same endpoints. We will be starting at Rancho Cucamonga 8th Street Station and ending at the Blue Diamond and Las Vegas Boulevard site in Enterprise, Nevada. My Hesperia, California station will be different. Victor Valley will be the same. The first design objective is to average 150 miles per hour, which should render a travel time of close to 90 minutes. That would be about half an hour faster than what Brightline West is planning. The second design objective is gentler grades. I've heard a lot of skepticism about the 4.5 to 6% grades on the Brightline West route and the lack of tunnels. So I'm capping grade at 4%, which is currently the steepest in the world for high speed in Germany. Our tech is the Siemens Velaro Novo, which is Brightline West's choice. It will be capable of 220 mile per hour cruise, but like Brightline West, we will cap that at 200 miles per hour. This will require at least 3-mile radius curves to maintain speed outside of straights. Not a parameter, but another thing that needs to be addressed is the surprisingly restrictive nature of the Mojave Desert. Enormous swaths of this area are set aside as protected lands, whether it be national preserves, national monuments, or wilderness areas. As a result, the Interstate 15 corridor is the only viable path between these areas. There is a little room to maneuver in spots, but we will still mostly be sticking to Interstate 15. Let's get started in Rancho Cucamonga at 8th Street Station, like in my Brightline West 2025 update video. If you haven't seen that, check out the latest news and visuals for that project. The Brightline West station here will be elevated. We'll keep that configuration, and off we go on viaduct toward Interstate 15 to the east. Brightline West will enter a sharp curve here, keeping speed low. I'm going to demolish 2 warehouses and expand that curve to a quarter-mile radius, which our high-speed train would be able to take at about 60 miles per hour. This part will be similar to Brightline West plans with a transition to the Interstate 15 median near Foothill Boulevard, only slightly faster. From here to Lido Creek, Brightline West plans to top out at 140 miles per hour. We will cruise at 150 miles per hour, and I will explain why in a second. Brightline West starts to slow at the Lido Creek crossing due to freeway curves. We'll break out of the freeway median here and continue at 150 miles per hour. That can be maintained through the Glen Helen area with viaduct as the planned Brightline West route slows to about 60 miles per hour to enter Cajon Pass. We will skip the pass and opt for a tunnel. A major complication here is the San Andreas Fault, which we want to cross above ground. Because the fault is right up against the San Bernardino Mountains here, ground level running is not possible, as grades exceed even the 6% found in Cajon Pass. This will require a high viaduct to cross roads and smooth grade. That will enter Cable Canyon and then just barely get north of the fault before needing to go underground. This appears possible, but it would be tricky. The tunnel would be a 6-mile long S-curve, avoiding the Silverwood Lake Reservoir on a 3% grade and exiting in Little Horse Thief Canyon. The geometry into and through this tunnel would support 150 mile per hour travel. I have the route then crossing a series of low hills and small canyons on earthworks before crossing the Mojave River and coming into our Hesperia station site. This is 10 miles due east of the currently planned Hesperia station in the Interstate 15 median at US 395. My alternative station would be at the intersection of Rock Springs and Deep Creek roads. I have time between Rancho Cucamonga and there at 16 minutes. Brightline West indicates 23 minutes in the Cajon Pass environmental assessment for the US 395 station. 16 minutes would be a 120 mile per hour average. After that, I have the route meandering around the east side of Apple Valley at 175 miles per hour, looking for open space with only partial success. I have total necessary structures lost here at 60, with a couple of hundred properties crossed. That would wind up on the east side of the Brightline West property near Dale Evans Parkway and Interstate 15. This route opens up station options in Apple Valley, but we'll stick with the current site for comparison. A typical Brightline West train will skip Hesperia, so let's go for Rancho Cucamonga straight to the Victor Valley site. That's 50 miles in 22 minutes at an average of 136 miles per hour. Brightline West is planning about 35 minutes along Interstate 15. North of the Victor Valley station, the route is next to Interstate 15 once again until the first curve here. This new route would go straighter, cross over the freeway, and then go back to the freeway right-of-way until the outskirts of Barstow. There is no good way through Barstow on the surface, so I'm picking a tunnel through the hills south of town. This would be 4 miles long and emerge on the east side of town. There is just enough room for a station here before crossing over the Mojave River on a viaduct 70 feet up, but like Brightline West, we'll skip a station in Barstow for now. Another mile of tunnel north of the river and then over Interstate 15 on viaduct. Once on the north side of the interstate, tracks will stay there at full speed for 30 miles. This would be similar to the old Express West plans that mostly ran next to the freeway. After that, the Brightline West entry into the Cronies Valley from the west is slow, but this can be taken at 200 miles per hour with 2 cuts under the freeway and 2 short tunnels. Grades top out at 3.5%. Then across the valley a half mile from the freeway, back to the freeway at Razor Road, then breaking away again at Zizix Road for a 2-mile tunnel that would allow a better approach into Baker. The route through Baker, California would be similar to the original Express West plan between town and the northeast side of the freeway on viaduct. East of Baker, the Halloran grade runs near 4.5% for 6 miles. This would require an 8-mile tunnel under Halloran Summit to keep grade under 4%. Instead, we can detour to the next valley over. That maxes out at 4%. A mile-long tunnel into Shadow Valley and a big S-curve would get us back to Interstate 15 near Sema Road, all at 200 miles per hour. That Halloran Springs area is one of the few large areas out there that isn't protected. I have that option saving about $1 billion at a time penalty of 35 seconds. Then up the grade out of Shadow Valley to Mountain Pass next to the freeway, which gets as high as 4.1%. This could be mitigated by elevating the route by 10 feet coming into the grade. Mountain Pass from the west is the beginning of a 125 mile per hour section. It's impossible to navigate the area under a 4% grade any faster than that due to the surrounding Mojave National Preserve, a large mine, and several wilderness areas. Brightline West plans to traverse 4.5% slopes here at about 80 miles per hour. To manage 125, we once again escape the freeway again in a tunnel, this one 1.5 miles long. Then meandering around the Ivanpah solar plant, slowly bleeding off elevation until rejoining Interstate 15 in a curve at the California-Nevada state line. All that would be at 125 miles per hour for 22 miles. That's because Mountain Pass, California peaks at 4,730 feet, and Primm, Nevada at the state line has an elevation of 2,600 feet, and the slope between isn't consistent. Then through Primm in the interstate median, and then running on the east side of the freeway into Sloan 25 miles distant. This would deviate slightly from the freeway in a few spots to maintain 200 miles per hour. Into the Las Vegas area, I have the plan being similar to Brightline West, but elevated to allow 2 tracks the whole way. That would also allow a few miles of 110 mile per hour travel in the area before slowing considerably to go around the Blue Diamond interchange and into the Las Vegas area station. On this faster route, that would be 169 miles from Victor Valley, same distance as currently planned. I have that taking 1 hour and 2 minutes, which would be an average of 166 miles per hour. Brightline West plans between the two work out to about 90 minutes. For the whole shebang, from Rancho Cucamonga to the Las Vegas area, it would be 219 miles. I have that taking 1 hour 27 minutes with a 3-minute stop at Victor Valley. That is a 151 mile per hour average, so we met our objective. Compare time to Brightline West plans that are in the 2-hour range. Now let's talk cost. What do you imagine it's worth to save a half hour each way? Before we get to the numbers, let's quickly review my cost estimation algorithm and some sample results showing it can produce reasonable ballpark figures. For these 219 double-tracked miles between Southern California and Las Vegas, including 17 miles of tunnels, I have an estimated cost of $25.3 billion in 2028 dollars, or roughly twice as much as Brightline West is currently estimating. That works out to $115 million per mile. Let's talk about the double tracking to close. Brightline West's plan is to run a train every hour in each direction. With the 37 miles of double tracking they are planning in strategic locations, all of those trains should be able to pass each other in a timely manner. To handle capacity expansion, they're going to couple trains. If and when demand grows beyond that, they're going to run trains every 30 minutes and convert to mostly double tracking. Also, this is a closed system and will only carry Brightline West traffic, so what does double tracking out of the gate get them? The only thing I can think of is an increase in reliability over something going wrong on a single tracked section. But what do you think? Would all of this be worth an extra $13 billion, or did Brightline West make the right call? Does this perspective change your opinion about the Brightline West model and the possibility of the Brightline West 2.0 concept? Let me know in the comments. Plenty more videos to come. I'm hoping to get one more in before Stu's News on February 1st, so be sure to check back in. Don't forget Super Thanks are available. I'm currently using those to cover a power station I can use to run my computer when the power is out, thanks to the situation Southern California is in now. But that's all for now. Until next time, I'll see you on that big, beautiful freeway.